Jeff from Two Hacks Garage. Well, we're back up at Kyle's Hack Shack, and if you look at us, we're both wearing stocking caps. It's not as cold as it was the other night when we were working on the 455. Still waiting on parts on that. But due to time constraints and kind of decisions made on what engine's going to go in the big green machine, we need to get this one cleaned. Kyle and I off camera, what we've been doing is we've been measuring bores. We've been measuring your mains and all that, measuring deck height, a whole bunch of that race math, because this engine's going up to loon performance. We're going to do a video up there hopefully here in a couple weeks. But what I like to do is before it gets the machining work done, they're going to hot tank and all that, I like to take the time and do a lot of cleaning on these, especially like this one. We figured out this engine had never really been apart. So there's all the little oil plugs in here, the threads, we've already chased those. I think we'll do them again. But there's all those little passages in there, a lot of grease and grime. Obviously, this thing's from 1970, so it's filthy. Water jackets, you name it. I like to get these as spotless as I can before they get machined and hot tanked again and all that. It just kind of peace of mind type deal in some sort of ways. I have a method to my mayhem. I've made videos on it. What we're going to do is we're going to show you what we do to clean a block prior to, if you want to call it professional cleaning, and then the overall machining process. This one's pretty nasty, not as bad as the small block Chevy I pulled apart that one time, but it's always a good idea to thoroughly take your time, get these all cleaned up, and that way when it goes to the machine shop, and this is going to a pretty high-end performance place, their cleaning on it is going to be that much better. And you know what, guys? That's all the name of the game, because this engine is going to be extremely high horsepower, and we want to make sure it's done right. So let me show you what we got working with as far as how we clean them before all the fun begins. All right, so some of the stuff that we like to use, simple stuff. A lot of it's from Zepp. You can get it at Menards. Zepp oven and grill cleaner. This stuff works great on taking off just built up grease, grime, you name it. You got to be kind of careful, work with it in a ventilated area. It is kind of, you know, acidic and all that, kind of can burn your hands, but that's just part of the game. We use a foaming citrus degreaser. That's after we get all the heavy gunk out. That's a must-have on that, and we got a spray version of that also right there. So we can, you know, get in there and really start cleaning on that too. Other than that, you know what? I'm not going to say it on camera because of YouTube's rules, but we all know what that is. And these are a really cheap alternative to clean all the oil galley holes and all the main holes and all that. Works very, very well. I use that with some degreaser or some brake fluid. And you know what? This is a cheap alternative to some of the stuff you guys have to buy out there. Works very well for cleaning all the holes. And I got extra little brushes on that. Another thing is, guys, well, guess what? Q-tips. I got a bunch of different sizes. I get these at Harbor Freight for a couple dollars, big old bag of them, and that works really well too. Other than that, let's see here. Oop, knock that over. I just got a bunch of various cleaning supplies. In fact, let me get that out and get this up here. Cleaning is a messy job. It's cold out. Kyle and I, neither of us are actually built for this type of stuff, but we're going to get it done anyway because it's a day that's almost above freezing. So, like I said, Q-tips, all those different cleaning supplies, doggy pads. You know what? They make those oil mats. These are really awesome. You can lay them underneath your engine stand when it's on there, and these really absorb a ton of oil and all the greases and grimes that come off of it so it doesn't hurt your floor. And you can get these at like Dollar General, a whole big old bag of them for like $3. In fact, there's what it looks like right there. Puppy pads. Works very, very well. In fact, I think this one was $3. 5-layer protection, super absorbent, and they do work very well. And there's 32 of them in there. Other than that, just a bunch of different brushes, all that fun jazz. Let's go take a look at the engine. All right, so we kind of showed you what chemicals we're working with and all that, but if you look with this engine block, it's got a bunch of gunk in the threads. You want to clean that out, you can chase those out. But you got all your little oil feed holes in here on your mains, and you also got them on your cam journals, and that one there, it's actually plugged up and gunky. Not only that, on the outside of these, you can see all this old paint and grease and grime. You want to get that off. You really want to pay attention to your water jackets. Those get a lot of just nasty stuff built up in there. In fact, take your finger up in here. Look at that, just nasty stuff. I know a lot of that can be solved with a hot tank, but you know what, guys? If you can spend a couple hours getting everything cleaned up prior to having to do that, it just makes the cleaning process that much better. Just kind of the devil's in the details type stuff. So yeah, we got a lot of cleaning to do. It's going to be messy. It's going to be cold. We want to run a bunch of brushes, pressure washer, chemicals, fun day, cold day. We better get at it.
Before and after?
Real quick, guys, one thing is to, before you clean an engine, you need to make sure you get all your plugs out. Not just your expansion plugs, but you got your little side plugs that like go in here. We're going to take this off and get the ones out of the back. But there's always oil galley plugs that are in the back. All of that has to come out. And I know with like a Pontiac engine, the oil, if you look here in the front, where these things feed, well, we need to get those popped out because we got to run brushes through that. So we got to get everything out. In fact, on a Pontiac, one of them goes straight through the block and the other one stops. But you got to knock out a little plug in the back so you can get to an Allen head plug back there. So before you do any cleaning, you really want to make sure every plug, every little thing in this is taken out so you can properly clean it. So what Kyle and I are going to do is we're going to work on making sure we have everything out. We know we got to get some expansion plugs out of the back and a couple more oil galley plugs. Not too hard to do, but prior to cleaning, you really want to make sure everything is just down to a bare block. All right, so here's something I'm talking about when it comes to being dirty. If you look down in there in that oil galley hole right there, it's just full of gunk. In fact, when we pulled that plug out, the threaded plug, it's kind of hard to see, but down in that hole itself, it didn't actually, you couldn't see through it. It had about a 3/8 big chunk of built up sludge. So that's why you got to make sure everything's out. And this is why I do a lot of pre-cleaning before it goes to the machine shop. That's just one of them. Also, look over here, up in this water jacket. If you look right there, that stuff right there, that is a just bunch of sludge and junk built up. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a better shot of it there. That needs to come out. So, yeah, this is pretty nasty. If you look up in there, it's just full of sludge, just like on the other side. And if you can do anything to help your machinist out, get these things clean, you know what? That's a win-win, and it's kind of a peace of mind knowing you got all the junk out of this. So we're only 5 minutes into this, and we already found, well, that one was almost completely plugged up. And this one over here, you can see all the junk being built up in there, all the sludge and nastiness. So we're going to get back at it. All right, so this is the important. So Kyle and I actually had to make modify a tool to get this to work, but there's a rear oil galley plug here that goes all the way to the front that oils your lifters. And we got it out, so you can see that nasty, just funky crap. I mean, it's just full of godly gooks in there. That was a big chunk that just fell down in there. So that's why you do as much pre-cleaning as you can. Just big chunks of funk in there. Just nastiness. So what we're going to do is we're going to knock the front of that plug out, and we're going to put this thing back on that stand, and we're going to start the cleaning process. Now, mind you, the first step of the cleaning process Kyle and I are going to do is soak it down with oven degreaser or oven cleaner, let it soak, and we're going to scrub the crap out of it. Kyle, hold that bar up. So we knocked the front plug out with a big extension, and if you look at that, that is just, that's all that junk that was in that oil gallon. We didn't even start cleaning it yet. So this is why you pre-clean stuff before it goes to machine shop. All right, so all I did there was we got all the plugs out. There was one in the back, forgot about, but all the plugs are out. I've taken the Zep oven cleaner and really soaked the bottom of this, really soaked everything on here, got it in water jackets, got it everywhere. And that stuff, I'm telling you right now, is a really good degreaser. You just got to be careful working with it. So what Kyle and I are going to do is we're going to let this sit up 10, 15 minutes before we start progressing to the next step. But you know what, guys? It's dirty, but you saw the funk that came out of that plug. I know on where the cam holes are, where it gets its oiling, when we took this apart, I saw 2 of them were plugged up. But, you know, this one back here, the one he took out there, it had a big funk chunk of sludge everywhere. So the whole idea of this is not get it clean enough ready to build per se. It's clean enough to go to the machine shop knowing all of that junk that's been building up since 1970 is out of the engine. A majority of that scum is off there. To me, this is the proper way to clean an engine before it goes to the machine shop. You got to remember, if they were to take this and just throw it in a hot tank, yeah, it's going to degrease it very well and all that. But it also, you know what, guys, that kind of messes with the hot tank, gets a lot more oil and, you know, all that type of stuff on there. I know working with machinists and machine shops, they like to have these as clean as possible before they do that. So this is saving a little bit of money, saving a little bit of time. It's time on us, but you know what, guys, it's worth it. And I've done a video on this before, which I'll put a link in the description, more thorough cleaning. But you know, this is the way we like to do it. Before we go to a machine shop, we want to make sure we get it as clean as possible before they do the final hot tanking and do the machining. So yeah, pretty much watching paint dry or oven cleaner do its trip. See you in a few. All right, so we've been working on this for a while. You got to remember this is time lapse, but I've used the oven cleaner on there, let it sit, let it soak, really get in there and scrub things clean, top and bottom of the mains. I did run the bore brushes that I showed you in that package through all the holes, got all that defunkified. You know, you got to remember this is going to get professionally clean in a hot tank. We're just getting the major gunk off of it. I went ahead and sprayed it down with citrus foam degreaser, scrubbed it again, scrubbed it again, scrubbed it again, and I just sprayed it again. I'm just going to let it really soak and drip and just get a bunch of funk off. But, you know, look at that. That is just, you know, from 1970, just funk. If you notice in the video, I kept spraying in here in the expansion holes. That's where your coolant goes. I'm doing it on each side, getting it up in there, side to side, letting that foam just really expand and get in there. Just trying to get those water jackets as clean as possible. Gonna let this thing, you know, soak up a little bit more. Kyle's cleaning some other parts. They're gonna go to Wisconsin. But the next step, guys, is we're gonna take it on the other side of the shop, and Kyle's got a pressure washer set up, and he's gonna hit this, hit this, hit this, hit this, get in all the water jackets, spray it clean as we can do. So yeah, it's back to, if you wanna call it, watching paint dry. Well, just grease strip. All right, so that's the cleaning process. As you saw, we started off with just getting all the funk off of it. Oven cleaner, scrub, citrus cleaner, go through all the holes, make sure everything's taken apart. There's no plugs in it. There's no expansion plugs, nothing. And like I said, you know, from there, guys, what we did was a lot of elbow grease, a little bit of chemical interaction with the oven cleaner, the citrus cleaner, get in the water jackets, and just keep scrubbing. Kyle is kind of soaked right now, but it's actually above freezing today, so that's why we picked today. Mind you, this is going to a machine shop, so if you still see it's got like gasket stuff that's stained, that's fine, because we know that this engine block is going to get bored, it's going to get decked, it's going to get a whole bunch of stuff. So from there, what we ended up doing was going out in the shed side and high pressure sprayed it until everything ran clean, all the junk was off of it. And then from there, well, it looks oily because it is. Once it's bare metal like that, it'll want to flash rust, which you really don't want to do. You want to keep it from getting rusty, especially on the mains and in the bores, even though it's getting machined. So just sprayed it down with some lubricant, and all we got left to do is Kyle's got that garbage bag right there because he's soaked. And we're going to pack it up, set it aside. So yeah, that's how Two Hacks Garage does engine cleaning before it goes to a machine shop. All those passages are squeaky clean. It's degreased. It's ready for machining and hot tank. And it's ready to get, what, 1,000 horsepower?
Let's shoot for it.
Let's shoot for 1,000. And because that car right there, but come springtime, yeah, it's going to be a fast one. See you in the next one.